David, what did you make of his definition of conservative?
Well, I don't think he's very well versed in political science and politics. I honestly don't. And I further think, and I don't want to be mean here because I'm trying to get along with these Trump supporters and trying to understand them. But when I see him on a national stage debating, I find it almost a little bit arrogant and irresponsible that he hasn't done more homework, even to understand the talking points of the basic political philosophy or of the policies that he advocates, much less any depth in those policies. You would think that someone running for the highest office in the land would do their homework. And the fact that he doesn't scares me about his personality. Now, as to and I'm not trying to set up alarms like he's some kind of crazy guy, just that he's a little bit arrogant. And you need some humility. You need leadership, but you need to be humble enough to know your limitations so that you'll compensate for them. And I see no evidence of that with him. In terms of the definition of conservatism, he's shown very little understanding of it. He's right about a strong military, although sometimes he articulates it, sometimes he doesn't. He's paid little attention to the social issues, except for saying that Planned Parenthood's great, but he's against the funding of abortion. And, you know, that's very problematic. But he's shown, I think, the only thing he says on economic conservatism is that he's a good businessman. But I don't think those business skills necessarily transfer, and those principles don't necessarily transfer to growing a good economy or allowing the government to get the government out of the way. But I'm more concerned about than anything on this conservatism thing is that he doesn't ever talk about the Constitution and the principles of limited government that ensure our liberties that are enshrined in the Constitution. That's the biggest signal to me. Having said all that, his supporters don't care. They've made it very clear. And this isn't a cut of his supporters either. This is a quote. They don't care. They're sick of us talking about ideology. They want a guy who can get things done. And they're strong. They're high on him on certain specific issues. They'll worry about the rest later. They think we face existential threats on immigration, and they don't seem to care about a lot of the other things, with all due respect.